Coordinate geometry. Coordinate geometry in O levels. Okay, coordinate geometry is basically related to points, like point P is given in the form of X and Y, which means if we take X-axis and Y-axis over there, this is X dash, horizontal axis. This is Y dash, y dash as a vertical axis. X-axis is called abscissa, y-axis is called ordinate. These are just names over there. If I want to locate a point P in 2D plane over there, then I will say this point P will be described by x, y, which means x is this length, this is x, and this is the length y over there. Let's suppose, according to our mathematics terms, we will have to use 2 points, like I am using another point q over there, and I am giving x1, y1, and x2 and y2 with respect to the positions of this point q over there. For that purpose, let's suppose I am taking point 1 and point 2 for q over there, x2 and y2 over there. First of all, the first term which we need over there is the distance formula. Distance formula. In case of distance formula, I will say we will have to take x2 minus x1. So x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square, taking in the form of square root, will be the distance from P to Q over there. This is the distance which P and Q points are being taken, and you are being asked calculate the distance between P and Q. You will manipulate this formula. All right. After that, when you go for midpoint, means I am taking another point on PQ, like point O over there, and I say find the vertices of this midpoint O over there, then midpoint formula will be stated as x1 plus x2, x1 plus x2 over 2, comma, y1 plus y2 over 2. Y1 and y2 will be taken into account, and this formula will be manipulated to calculate as midpoint coordinates over there. So for this one, if we go for midpoint formula, after that we will have to go to find the slope. We will have to find the slope in the form of, like, let's suppose I am saying here that you are given in this line which I am drawing here. I calculate how much this is steeper from this horizontal line. You want to calculate this angle or the elevation over there. Then in that case you use the term gradient, or you are using the term slope over there. Then in case we say gradient, also named as slope, denoted with symbol m over there in our line equation, we use the formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. This will be the formula for calculating the gradient. If I say that the gradient is given and we want to calculate the gradient in the form of line equation formation, then there will be two main cases. For example, I say there are two lines. One line is passing through point A and B, and the other line is passing through the point P and Q over there. Then I say when both of these lines are parallel to each other, then their gradients will be equal. Gradient of line AB, I say that is M1, and the gradient for the line PQ is for M2 over there. When both lines are parallel, we say their gradients are equal. And when we say, let's suppose line A and B is taken in this form and the another line is in the form of PQ is taken as perpendicular, and the line AB is having the gradient, let's suppose M1, and this is having the gradient M2, then I say if they are perpendicular, this was taken for AB and PQ, AB parallel to PQ, then I said their both gradients or slopes will equal. When I say AB and OX, let's suppose, when they are perpendicular making the angle of 90 degree, then we say the products of their gradients M1 M2 will equal to minus 1 there. This was the concept behind when we are given 2 points to calculate the gradient, 2 points to calculate the gradient of another line and parallel case, and when you are taking two lines in such way that they are perpendicular over each other, then we take their product should equal to minus 1. After that, if their gradients are being taken and I say use this gradient to calculate the line equation, then it will be taken as y is equal to mx plus c over there. What is m over here? M is the gradient or slope as it is mentioned here, and you will use this formula to calculate the gradient m for this line equation over there, and this x and y will be the variable for that line equation. This c is y intercept over there. Let's suppose I am taking 2 points and I will try to manipulate the examples by using these formulas there. Let's suppose we are having two points in the form of P. Let's suppose I am taking it 7, 11, and the point Q, which I am taking here as 5, 9. First of all, we will have to go to calculate its distance. For its distance, I will say the formula which I have written above is my formula is x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. So now, first of all, I will highlight here. This is my x1, this is my y1, this is my x2, this is my y2. So x2 minus x1, so 5 minus 7, 5 minus 7 whole square plus y2 minus y1, 9 minus 11 whole square, taking in the form of square root for calculating distance. So 5 minus 7 is equal to minus 2 whole square plus 9 minus 11 again minus 2 whole square, taking the square root. 2 square is 4, 2 square is 4, so it is under root 4 plus 4, which is equal to under root 8. This is the distance which I was expecting to calculate between P and Q. After that, I say calculate the vertices of the midpoint O of the line P and Q. Midpoint means it is equidistant from both sides of P and Q over there. Let's go with midpoint formula which I have written above, that is x1 plus x2 plus y1 plus 2 y1 plus y2 over 2 over there. So the same case will be used over here for midpoint calculation, where he said this is x1, this is x2, add both of them, so midpoint will equal to x1 plus x2 over 2 comma y1 plus y2 over 2. Let's go for its calculation now. X1 is 7 plus 5 over 2, x1 plus x2 7 plus 5 over 2 comma 11 plus 9 y1 plus y2 over 2, and you are getting the vertices of midpoint, that is 12 by 2 comma 20 by 2. So by cancellation, 2 1 time, 2 6 time, 2 1 time, 2 10 times. So you are getting the points as 6 comma 10 there. All right. This is the way how to go for midpoint. On the number 3, I will say go to the words gradient calculation over there. So gradient or midpoint, should we go for gradient or slope, or I say calculate m over there, then it is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So for implementation of this formula over there, then I will say y2 is 9 minus 11 over 5 minus 7, which means my y2 was 9, y1 was 11, 9 minus 11 and 5 minus 7, and I am getting the gradient over there, 9 minus 11 as minus 2 over 5 minus 7 as minus 2, even though everything is cancelled, and I'm getting 1 as the gradient of this point between both of them. So if we go according to past paper questions over there a little bit, like he said, AB is a line segment and B is the midpoint of line segment AC. Find the coordinates of C over there. So he is giving a question over here where he is saying that the AB is a line segment joining A and B. So A point is given, B point is given. A is having the vertices minus 2, 5. 5, and B is having the vertices 1 comma 3. So he is saying there AB is a line segment joining both of them. First of all, I am joining to both of them. Then he is saying B is the midpoint. He is saying B is the midpoint of the line segment AC. So C is here. This is the C, and he is saying calculate the coordinates of this C over there. Let's suppose I say they are X and Y. If it is the midpoint B, then we know now we will try to manipulate this formula in which the answer 610 as a midpoint is given like B is there, and this is x2 and y2 we want to calculate. Our answer as x comma y is given, x1 y1 is given. We need to calculate x2 and y2 over there. Okay, here we can get the message that xy as a midpoint, because according to this midpoint you have the vertices xy like 6 10 is given in the form of AB according to the question statement understanding over there, and A having the vertices minus 2 5 is also given. B is the midpoint he told you and saying calculate xy, so x2 y2 you want to calculate. Just try to implement that formula, x1 plus x2 over 2 comma y1 plus y2 over 2 is equal to x comma y, and you are provided with x comma y over there. So in that case I will say here, let's do for it. XY is given. So 1 comma 3 is given, and x1 plus x2. x1 is minus 2 given, plus x2 is not given over 2 comma y1 is given as 5 plus y2 over 2. So it is the form which you have made by using your formula. Now x part is equal to your 1 and y part is equal to your 3. So let's take it for this. 1 is equal to minus 2 plus x2 over 2. This is your first equation. Take the second equation, 3 is equal to 5 plus y2 over 2. So try to arrange now. 2 1 times 2 is equal to minus 2 plus x2. And if I take this minus 2 on left side, it will become positive, and x2 will equal to 4. And after that, for this 3, now again I am making y2 as a subject. 2 into 3, that is 6, which is equal to 5 plus y2. And y2 will equal to 6 minus 5, and y2 will equal to 1 there. Now you have x2 and y2 also. So the vertices of this C will become 4 comma 1 over there. So if you just observe here, minus 2 to 1, there is 3 numbers basically added, and 1 is also added with 3 to get 4. For y, he is getting 5. It means to get next one as a 3 means 2 were subtracted. In the next one, you got 1 means again 2 is subtracted over there. So if you take A and C, B is the midpoint over there. All right. So this is your method to find the coordinates of C over there. After that, he is saying find the length of AB in square root format. AB, length of AB, minus 2, 5 and minus 1, 3 we are again taking. So he is saying A and B, and A was the coordinate having minus 2 comma 5, and B is having the vertices as 1 comma 3. So you are going to calculate the distance between A and B. You want to calculate, but give your answer in the form of under root t. This is the expression in which he is saying calculator is not allowed, or you will not have to go the exact decimal value for that answer. So for that purpose, now just apply the formula of distance, that was x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square in the form of square root. So this is your x1, this is your y1, this is your x2, this is your y2. So if we go x2 minus x1, so 1 minus minus 2, minus 2 like that, making a square, plus y2 minus y1, 3 minus 5 whole square, taking the square root over there, and you are getting 1 minus minus plus 1 minus minus plus 2, 1 plus 2 whole square, plus 3 minus 5 minus 2 whole square, square root. So 1 plus 2, 3, 3 square is how much? 9. After that, plus minus 2 square is minus 4. No. When the power is even, minus sign will be ignored. So it will be 4. And this will be taken in square root, and you are going with answer under root 13 over there. All right. This is the distance for B part over there. For 2 marks he has given. Now he is saying find the equation of line perpendicular to AB passes through A. Give your answer. So when I will have to go for perpendicular line, first I will find the gradient of line AB. Then I will use the perpendicular form, and then take my points to be towards the equation to form the equation over there. First of all, we will have to go for gradient of line AB. Minus 2, 5 and 1, 3. Let's go. Gradient formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. This is the formula for gradient. Let's get it. Our y2 is 3 minus 5. 3 minus 5, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, 1 minus minus 2. So we are getting our value minus 2 over 3. Minus minus plus 1 plus 2 making 3 over there. This is our gradient for line AB. But in the question, he is asking a perpendicular to AB. Line should be perpendicular. For perpendicular, I told you that M1 m2 should equal to -1 and m1 should be taken as -2 by 3. Let's suppose this is line AB. This is line AB whose gradient is -2 by 3, and for the line perpendicular at point A making 90° over there, we'll have this is M1 and you are going with M2 as a perpendicular line passing through point A over there. For this gradient of this line over there, you will use this relation as M2 unknown is equal to -1, then making this m2 as a subject, then we can say 3 will be multiplied with -1 making -3, and -2 is going to divide over there, minus minus is cancelled, and the gradient of this perpendicular line will be 3 by 2. After that, the line equation which is used, I told you that y is equal to mx plus c. Y is equal to mx plus c. And he said the line is passing through point A, and A is having the vertices -2 and 5. -2, comma 5. So your x for this case is -2 and your y is 5. So, for calculating this intercept c variable over there as a constant, I want to take m2 as 3 by 2. 3 by 2 into x is -2 plus c is equal to y is 5. So from here, if we want to calculate c as a subject, 2 one time, 2 one time, -1 and 3 is making -3, 5 plus c. So c is equal to -3 will come to 5 side to make 8 as a subject over there. So c will equal to 8. Now you can put in this equation to make a line equation for that perpendicular line passing through point A. So you will say y is equal to 3 by 2 x plus 8. This is your line equation perpendicular passing through point A for the above values of AB. So in the start, this was your AB, and I said this is your point A, which is having the perpendicular over here. And what is the line equation for this? You can easily use y is equal to mx plus c, and c will be calculated by putting the vertices of point A over there and using the gradient value also. C will be calculated, then will be written in the final format this as line equation of perpendicular for 4 marks over there. This is y is equal to mx plus c. Format is done for this question. It was June 2020-24 paper 1 variant 1. Question number 23, it was related to coordinate geometry. Okay, let's take some other example from June 2021, paper 1, variant 1, question number 25, because he has also given for 4 marks, I think so. 4 marks. Okay, let's try to take this question now. He has given us a circle with the center at he is saying the diagram shows a circle with center at 0 1. So this is the point with center 0 comma 1 vertices. After that he is saying point 3 comma 5 is a point on the circumference of circle. So he has taken some point here which is 3 comma 5 over there, and he is saying find the equation of the tangent at point P. So if we want to take the tangent is a line which is touching the circle at this point, we will have to calculate its line equation over there. So as we know that a radius is perpendicular to tangent over there. If that is perpendicular, then if I want to calculate this tangent 3 comma 5 and this, then I will use the gradient of this. So let's go with the gradient of center was C and that point was P. So let's go with gradient of line CP first. That will be just like M1 over there. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 should be taken. Y2 x2 is here and y2 is here, x1 is here and y1 is here. So y2 minus y1, 5 minus 1 over 3 minus 0. So it is 5 minus 1 is 4 minus over 3. So this is the gradient for line CP. This is the radius. And we know that the radius is perpendicular to the tangent over there. So for the gradient of this tangent, we will use the relation m1 m2 equal to minus 1. And this is our m2 to be calculated for tangent over there, which is perpendicular on the circle. So m2 is as it is, m1 is 4 by 3 equals to minus 1. So m2 will equal to minus 3 over 4 as the gradient of this tangent line which is passing through the point P. So when we are getting the line equation y is equal to mx plus c, now we want to calculate this c over there. Use x and y of the point P as 3, 5. So y is 5 over there is equal to gradient is minus 3 by 4 and x is 3 there plus c. Make c as a subject. So it is 3 times 3, 9. Minus 9 by 4 is being added to other side. 5 plus 9 by 4. So 4, 5 the 20. Taking the LCM over there to make c subject to find unknown value there. So c will equal to 4, 5 times multiply 4 making denominator same over there. So I am getting 4, 5 the 20 plus 9, 29 by 4 over there. This is our c value. When c is calculated, then go for line equation to put m and c values. So y is equal to minus 3 by 4x plus 29 by 4. So this is the equation for the line which is passing through this tangent line through this point P, which is having vertices 3 comma 5, has the line equation as perpendicular to radius will be taken like this. All right. If we try some other question, like he has said P is the point which has the vertices h comma 7. He said now P is the point having the vertices h comma 7 over there. It is just like question number 10. Okay. And P lies on the line 3y plus 2x is equal to 5. So this point is lying over there and he is saying find the value of h over there. Now what you will do? You will place h as a x and 7 as a y. So let's make h as a subject over there. 3 into 7 plus 2 into h is equal to 5 there. Now 2h is staying on this side again and say 3 into 7 21 I am taking to other side. 5 minus 21, 5 minus 21 is giving me minus 16, and for making h as a subject I will say minus 16 over 2 is equal to minus 8 there. So this is the way how to find the unknown variable. And if he is said that point P lies on the line, if someone point is lying on the line, when you put this value minus 8 like in place of h and 7 in place of y, you will get the answer equal to 0. If some point is lying on the line or lying on the curve, lying on the circle, you will put your x and y. If you are getting the solution equal to 0, then it means that point is lying on that line or curve over there. After that, he is saying line L is perpendicular to the line. Okay. Now he is saying the line 3x plus 2y equal to 5 is given. And he is saying another line is taken which is perpendicular and passes through the point P. So point P has the vertices now minus 8 comma 7. This is point P. He is saying that use this equation now, 3y plus 2x, 3y plus 2x is equal to 5, I think so, yeah, and minus 8 comma 7 equal to 5 and minus 8 comma 7. If you just observe this statement, line L is perpendicular to line this and passes through point P. Find the equation of line L means we will make this as a subject for y. Then we will find m over there and use that m to be taken m1 m2 equal to minus 1 for showing a perpendicular line, and then we will use these vertices to find our value c, and we will get the equation of the line which will pass through point P and perpendicular this line equation. So let's make y as a subject. So 3y is equal to minus 2x plus 5. So y will equal to minus 2 over 3x uh, plus 5 over 3, means this 3 was multiplying here. I have sent it to the right side, dividing here and here also. So we know the equation y is equal to mx plus c. So m is having the value minus 2 by 3. So our m1 is equal to minus 2 over 3. For getting perpendicular line gradient, as m1 m2 equal to minus 1, we will say m2 is equal to, with m1 as minus 2 by 3 equal to minus 1. So m2 will equal to minus 1 into 3 over minus 2. So it will becoming 3 over 2. And we are having now the gradient of perpendicular line as 3 by 2. So I am using this equation again, y is equal to mx plus c. So y is equal to 3 by 2x plus c. For finding this c value, put x equal to minus 8 and y equal to 7. So 7 is equal to 3 by 2 into minus 8 plus c there. So 2 1 time, 2 4 time, minus 4 into 3 minus 12, coming to other side, making 7 plus 12 equal to c, which implies that c is equal to 12 plus 7 is equal to 19. So your line equation will become y is equal to, m is having the value 3 by 2x plus 19. And if you want to arrange it, multiply this 2 with the whole equation, you will get 2y is equal to 3x plus 19, 2 times 38. And this is your line equation for perpendicular line passing through the point P, having the vertices minus 8 7, which was originally h comma 7 over there. This was your coordinate geometry practice with the midpoint, distance formula, and gradient, slope, perpendicular lines, parallel lines, perpendicular bisector line. Will everything be calculated over there?